rich countries are contemplating giving a booster dose when not even 2% of people in developing countries and low-income countries have received even a first dose. So you have this vast inequality which is now playing out in terms of, sickness and death due to COVID. It's a sheer luxury of utilizing vaccines in a manner without looking at what the needs in developing countries are. You have a situation where a person living in a developing country who's elderly, who's a healthcare worker, have not even received a single dose, while richer countries are contemplating that should we give a booster dose even before the science tells you that yes, a booster dose is needed, completely ignoring the fact that these doses should be prioritized for countries like Uganda or South Africa, where we work, who are struggling to get enough vaccine doses. If you don't vaccinate a minimum number of people in all countries, there will be new variants. So if you don't look at public health from a rights-based point of view, this is precisely the problem which happened in the first year of the pandemic, and now it gets repeated with the booster shot. It's been designed to fail, where high-income countries are buying up all the doses. So actually, COVAX is in competition with high-income countries to purchase these doses. That speaks to the system, global health system, and the global health actors who set up the system. And the failure of that system is that you have a situation where you're going to offer a third booster dose to people in developed countries, while COVAX is starved of the billion doses that it requires. Well, it's not just inequity in access to vaccine doses, it's inequity in access to technology. And, this is something that was promised to developing countries when we signed the World Trade Organization TRIPS agreement, for example, that technology would flow and be shared more easily if people were in an intellectual property system. But that has not happened, because to beat the variants, we need the mRNA technology, because the mRNA technology allows you to tweak the vaccines in a manner that, sort of is more effective against new variants. But that technology lies absolutely with Germany and the United States.
We cannot and we should not accept countries that have already used most of the global supply of vaccines, using even more of it, while the world's most vulnerable people remain unprotected.
It was always a reality. As a treatment activist and as a lawyer, I can tell you this. In HIV/AIDS, we saw this. 10 years after life-saving antiretrovirals came in high-income countries, people were dying in Africa and Asia due to a lack of access to affordable antiretrovirals. This is the same for cancer drugs. Herceptin and trastuzumab for breast cancer for women, that is routinely offered to women with breast cancer in developed countries, never offered to women because we just can't afford it in developing countries. So this discrimination and inequality has always existed. What COVID has done, it has just put it in the public domain for all of us to discuss. So why should, treatment or access be determined by your purchasing power? And that's a question we need to start asking of the pharmaceutical industry and the current healthcare system.